Okay, so, I understand there's all kinds of feelings that were different in so many ways. And I need to just recount this one experience, this reconciliation thing, because we're going through the situation in the city that nobody had planned for. You've probably heard of the man. His name is Ashu Solo. He represents a larger group. They're doing everything they can to stop prayer, for public prayer in the city. And the city council was dealing with this. And I want to be very kind to Mr. Solo. I hope it may be entirely possible that some Christian people did not treat him appropriately. And I'm hoping to have a chance to meet him and spend some time. But for whatever reason, this is a very real issue. It's not over, and it could have the potential, just like it only took 8 people to stop prayer in a public school here in Saskatoon. This is a possibility. So I'm there at my pastor's request and with the word that, I want to listen and hear what's going on with the debate in the council. And while I'm sitting there, out in the door walks Nick Jesson. Nick Jesson is a professor and basically the right-hand man of the bishop. And following him was Jan Bigland Pritchard, who was the director of the Prairie Center for Ecumenism. I'm sure some of you know what that is, and a very important lady in Anglican. And I was sitting there, and the 3 of them sat there, and here's the council and the 3 of us, and I'm realizing, God, we're not going to say anything here. This has never happened in the history of the city. The representatives of the church, there's some of them, were there in the middle of a conflict that was affecting the church. And we had the power of the festival. And you know what the council did? The council just ditched it. They threw it away. And they're not dealing with that. One simple example of much greater things where I believe that God is moving in this city. I want to conclude with a situation with the work of a young man. He's now 25. He was 20 when he did this, and I heard him do it. It's about 4 years ago. His name is Chris Randall. Chris works with young people with his dad and his church at City Center down on 20th Street. He's married to a lovely native lady. Just a great kid. Love Chris. But he's a history buff and really wanted to get into this history of the city of Saskatoon. And I heard him. I thought, I've been here 30 years, I know this stuff. And the kid blows me away. He goes into the archives, he goes in, he pulls it out. He said, this city was built by the direction of a man from Ontario. He was coming with 4,000 people. They raised $4 million in the late 1850s, and they're going to sit up and they're going to start a community on the edge of a river in the middle of Saskatchewan, which was hostile territory, not to mention the snow and all of that. Hostile. And one of the first things they do in their first worship, some native people ride up and say, what are you doing? I mean, they went through the whole matter of translation. Said, well, we're here worshiping the Creator. And I'd love to have Chris tell the story, because it goes so far beyond that. But what happened was that in the long term, John Nielsen Lake, who was the founder of, we call it a temperance colony. That's kind of stuff that comes from another direction. They were bringing people off the street in Toronto who were dying from all kinds of things, including alcohol addiction. And so just to call it temperance colony is not fair, but it's a Methodist group. And he said to Whitecap, we were worshiping the Creator, and Whitecap was extremely interested. And Whitecap became, in a long story, became Christian. And actually in the real development, some people from Gabriel Dumont's group came and asked if he came to Whitecap and said, we want you to help us wipe these people out in Saskatoon. And Whitecap said, those people are my people, and you will follow them. That's not something that's new. But then I want to close with a reading that was John Lake's message, a written message, one of his last while he's here in Saskatoon. And it begins with reading of Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. And Isaiah 61:3 reads, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. For darkness covers the earth, and thick darkness is over the peoples. But the Lord rises upon you, and his glory appears over you. Nations will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your dawn." I asked the group this morning, how many of you know what is written to every entrance into this city on the arches that welcome people to Saskatoon? How many of you know? What does it say? Saskatoon shines. Circumstance? I don't think so. So what it is my privilege to do today, and to share with you a celebration of this man who I have walked with great joy for many years, and this church who has been a constant light in this community, is to urge us together to seek the presence of God for the things that he wants to see. I have, and I sound a little more like Martin Luther King Jr. than I want to, but I have a dream. And I believe it's a God dream. I'm asking God to allow me to live, to see the churches of this city come together, which I believe when that happens, it will transform the entire geography, topography, and everything about this city. Because power follows obedience to God, and when we obey the commandment that this is my command, that you love one another, and I want to say to you, your story is not my story, but your story is every bit more important. And I want you to understand, in my opinion, that when you have a friend, a person that you're in a relationship with, a person you're praying with, a person that you love and know, and you and that friend agree together on anything in all the earth, God is present in that prayer. And in that prayer, and in that friendship, and if that friendship branches out, goes and includes a broader circle of people, your power as a Christian in this community is not doubled or tripled. It's squared by virtue of the Spirit. And so I want to say to you, you have a light. The shepherd has a light. Let your light shine in the city. Together we may see men and women who now have no interest in Christ. Young boys, girls, children, teenagers, who are marching to a different realm than so much of the sickness that the world that we have. Isaiah talks about the difficulties. Arise, church. Shine where your light is coming. I would like to take a moment. I want to offer a prayer for you, for who you are and what God is doing in your midst. Would you bow with me, please? The people we meet, Lord, are not by accident. Circumstance is not a word in your vocabulary. The people we meet and the people that we share our lives with are how you are changing our world. And I pray for this body of Christ on this place in your city. I thank you for the faithful light that they've already borne. I thank you for every young person and middle-aged and senior person. I thank you for